welcome to Two Humans Talking. I'm Tiffany Sims, your mid-sized nutritionist and high performance coach, and I love talking all things nutrition, wellness, and basically performance for life.
I love that. And hello, I am Chelsea Scroggins, and I help men and women regain their self-love and self-confidence from the comfort of their own home.
Boop, boop.
And today, I really want to talk about our inner child. If you are open to that, and I want to just shed light on stuff I did as a child. I was going through this week and I was just thinking about how I miss doing some of the things I did when I was younger. And I was like driving to work and I was thinking about how as adults we stopped doing that. So if you're open to talking about that today, I would love
Yeah.
to do that with you.
So what kind of things were popping up for you?
So I remember this vivid moment of running around with paintbrush and we were painting this boat. It was my father's boat, and my brother actually got paint in my hair. We were just having a blast, didn't care. We didn't think about, oh, paint in your hair. And I had to cut my hair. And my mom was so pissed. She was pissed. And I had to turn into a boy, but it was so much fun. And I feel like now as adults, we like don't get dirty. We don't, use our paintbrush and just allow the paint to just get everywhere. And I think that that's so fun to me. So I was just thinking about how I used to
You
paint,
know
how I
what's
used
so
to
funny?
color, all that.
Do you know what's so funny?
Hopscotch, you name it. There's so many things I used to do as a kid, and like I forgot about it until this week. It was just popping up.
I love that. I probably 6 months ago now, I went to the craft store and bought watercolors and watercolor paint paper and taught myself how
See,
to water paint. And there is, and I was like a 6-year old. I put my
I
paintings on the
love that.
refrigerator and I was so proud of them. I had found some
Yes,
lady on Instagram, something Nelson, I can't remember her name, but she makes watercolor and crafting look so fun. I was like, if this lady is definitely the lady that's gonna teach me how to do this. And I would literally paint, I'd let it dry, and I'd put it on the refrigerator, and Jeffrey would be like,
yes.
what is happening? And I'm like, isn't it beautiful?
It is. And okay, so can I just ask you, how did you feel in that moment after you were done, or during and after? Like, how proud were you?
Amazing. Amazing, because
See?
it was a few things. It worked on my need of knowing what I was doing because I didn't know what I was doing and it was okay. And that even if things didn't look pretty as I was doing it, it
Mhm.
all turned into this beautiful picture when I was done. So
Yeah.
it was like this like out of body, like what's the word I want to do? Woo woo moment where I was just
Yes.
like, look at all of the enlightenment of the world coming together through my painting.
Yes. Okay,
And
can
I
I just
still have
highlight
a
that?
painting on my fridge. It says "Be Flamazing" and it's a flamingo. It was the first thing I
Oh,
painted. She taught me how to paint a flamingo with watercolor.
oh, I gotta see that picture. You have to send me a photo of that picture. So can I just say I started painting again like 2 years ago. It was probably 2020, at the beginning of 2020. So 3 years ago now. I can't believe it, but you're correct. It's almost intimidating when you have that blank canvas. You're like, I'm gonna mess this up. And then you go to paint, you're like, oh, I am messing this up. Wow, this is horrible. And then you continue, and then in the end, you're like, wow, it's amazing. It's such a wonderful like masterpiece. So that's why I enjoy painting so much. And I don't know if you've ever like painted like a boat, or even like fixed up your home and like painted the wall, or like sculpted anything, but it's that same feeling you get. Like when you're going to do that, it's just like a meditating feeling that I get anyways. Maybe you don't get it, but it's this beautiful feeling that of like calmness. And then in the end, you see your masterpiece and you're like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going. And so that's the beauty of painting. And I think the beauty of what we've done as children too, like when we didn't care. We didn't think about how it was going bad. Do you remember that? Like as a child, you were painting, you never thought, oh, this is horrible. You're like, look, this is
At least not
look.
until someone told you that it sucked, and then you got to that age where like you became started becoming self-conscious. But
Yeah.
like I try so hard when I do new things, especially creative things like that, because I'm not super creative, to remind myself to be a 3-year-old because 3-year-olds do not care. They
They
like
don't.
legitimately just have carefree fun and
It's
pure
true.
joy. It's pure
And
joy.
that's exactly what I was going for when I was driving. I was thinking like, where is the pure joy, right? Because I feel like lately I've just been working, working, working. And then I thought, you know what? The way people were driving, I'm thinking, you've been working, working, you've been working, working. Like we all need to just chill and have some inner child fun, whether that be, I don't know, running outside and giggling or going down to the beach and like letting the water chase you and running away from it or skipping. I remember skipping down the road.
And
As an
just
adult, you might
twirling.
feel silly, but like, yes, or just screaming like, what? I mean, I just feel like we, as humans, as adults, as we grow, we need to come back to our inner child from time to time and just let it out because a lot of adults, we like, okay, I'm off work, I'm gonna relax, we crack open a beer or like, and I
Mhm.
don't know. I think we
You
could do
forget
more
how to
than
have
that.
fun. I find that so many adults have forgotten how to have fun and they have
Yes.
like almost a stick up their butt of what an adult means. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey, when we first started dating, he was just like, when he like really got to know me, he's like, "You're a giant child. Like, what are you doing?" Like, I've got Legos. I built
Oh,
like
I
a
love
whole
it.
like Lego village for Christmas for my train set. I love Disney. I color, I quilt. Like, I do a lot. I love to play. I'm goofy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why are you acting like a child?" And I'm like, "Why are you not?" Like,
Yes.
I don't take my like, stop taking yourself so seriously. And so like now he's got like motorized boats and like
Yeah.
RC cars and stuff. And so I'm like, I thought those toys were for children. And he's like, these are adult hobby toys. And I'm like,
Yeah,
isn't it
I
fun?
actually got offered into, well, he used to do those like planes where you bring them together. It's not sculpting, but
Model
it kind of
trains?
is modeling. Thank you, modeling. So he was into that as a child, right? And then now like I brought the inner child out of him and he started doing that again and it just releases so much tension and stress and just makes him feel accomplished and he does such amazing jobs. He's a really great artist as
It's
well.
so fun. Like
It's
I
so
really would
fun.
encourage like our listeners to go do something that's just fun.
And that you haven't done in so long and just
Like
see how many years it takes off of your life. I'm telling you, if you do that, you'll have less wrinkles. You'll have less like
you
skin
might have more
problems.
smile lines, but that's okay. We welcome
That's
those.
okay. I mean, that's normal. I mean, wrinkles are normal, but I'm just saying, like, instead of going and putting fillers in your
That
body, like,
forehead muscle will relax.
yes, and you will just feel, I mean, you'll just feel so much lighter about yourself if you go and do that. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring up this week. Just something
I love.
positive that you can remember doing. What are other things that you did as a child? Just like, did you ever hopscotch? Did you hula
Oh,
hoop?
I
You
was
remember
horrible.
hula?
I was hopscotch is the thing. No, what's the thing where it was like a plastic? I'm gonna draw it because our words are missing. Hold on. It looks like this. So for our listeners on the podcast, you're gonna have to go find the YouTube video
Yeah.
because I'm drawing, and this is gonna look so. This is looking inappropriate already.
I'm thinking of tetherball, but I don't know if that's right. Do you remember tetherball? And I
Yes,
don't
I
even know
used
if
to
they have
whack the
tetherball
crap out of
nowadays.
my brother. But no, you put your foot through the hole and you
Skip
swung it
it.
around in a
Skip
cap.
it.
Yes,
Skip
skip it.
it. I had to skip it too.
I
Oh
was a skip it queen.
Oh, I was so good at skip it. And then the ball would light up. I see. I
Yes,
don't
and
even
I was
see
so
that.
bad on a pogo stick. But you know what I
Oh,
was
I
just
was horrible on
thinking?
a
It's
pogo
like in
stick.
my brain right now that won't go away is I love that when you were talking that you're talking about the inner child from a playful point of view because so often, especially right now, as like people in their 30s and 40s are
Mhm.
like moving through some of their BS. There's a lot of
Mhm.
inner child work to heal and hold the little girl inside of them or the
Yes,
little boy inside of them that wasn't cared for the exactly the way they needed as
I'm
an
doing
adult.
that. Yes.
And so I love that you brought it back to the playful side too, because like, yes, our inner child from the traumatic side of the neglected side of things, where there have been gaps, is really, really important for like your mental health and healing.
True.
And it has like its own, there's so much power in holding her or him, um, and just telling them it's okay and that you've got them. But I
Yeah.
love this from the point of view of just play.
Yes.
I was just talking with someone the other day and I was like, I really believe that we would have less struggles with obesity, less struggles with mental health, less struggle with like, there's been a lot of suicide in my area.
Oh, all over.
If people just played more.
It's true. And they didn't suppress who they really are as a human, because I feel like we all have a playful side to us that society's like, I don't know, has made you feel shame about that playful side or your goofy
Like you're
side. And
immature or
so you
something.
start to suppress yourself and you start to, go inward. And once you start to go inward, you're not expressing yourself anymore. You're like, swallowing yourself whole is what you're doing. And so no wonder you're depressed and binge eating, or even like your nervous system is out of whack and you're just gaining weight for no reason, or, you're just thinking these anxious, horrible thoughts because you're not expressing yourself. So get out there this weekend and express yourself some way, somehow. And you don't have to do it out in the middle of the road. I mean, I'm not
You
saying
can
if you want
go
to,
get some
please do.
sidewalk chalk.
But you can do it in the middle of your living room right now. Get up and sing like you used to, no matter how, whatever it may be, how horrible you might think or somebody told you you were. You get up and you just express it because that's what you used to love to do.
I
And that's what I'm
posted.
saying.
So Lexi, my dog, and I, we regularly have dance parties throughout the workday because
I
like I
love
just
that.
need to
To
break
release.
the brain
Yeah.
up. There's so much brain power that like, and I get so serious about work that sometimes I'm just like, so we have dance parties. And
I
I
love that.
happened to, I recorded myself doing it with her the other day when we were playing. And I remember my mom called and she was like, why would you share that on the internet?
Ah, excuse me, lady. It made you call me, didn't it? So it brought something out of
And
you.
I was just like, I was just having fun, and I think more people
Yeah.
should have fun and care less.
I actually did that last night. I put my camera up here and I was having a little dancing, and it's in my stories. You could still go check it out. Synchronized Yoga Therapy LLC, Instagram or Facebook. You can check them out. And that's me dancing. And I did a little singing too. And it was just my inner child coming to play. And it was old school music. We're talking like 17 years ago,
I
old
love
school
it.
rap
And
and
you know what?
Macy Gray.
That's
Remember Macy Gray?
yes.
I believe that flame has brought us here. Yeah, her little raspy voice. Love it.
I don't have it.
Anyways, that's what I did. Well, I missed that. I kind of wish I would have saw that video. I totally missed
Well, you
that.
can head over to underscore Tiffany.sims and you can check it out. It's in my Reels page. And it was
Oh,
just
I
me
love it.
and Lexi. And it reminded me, like, so like I'm in the fat loss, weight loss field, right? And I
Yes.
help people with that. And so many people come, they think that they just want to desperately lose weight because they think they need to be a certain size, but it's really about being able to play in the living room. It's about being able to squat to pick up the dog toy without
Yes.
being out of breath or not being able to tie your shoe. And so I just think that we have it all wrong for why people want to be healthy. And I just love that it comes back to play, because the more we play, the happier we are. And the happier we are, the more we want to enjoy life effortlessly.
True. And that's how I bring it about in my yoga classes too. And even my one-on-one mentorship. I just bring that, like, the love and the joy out of the practice. So it's not just so structured where you can't let go and release your sigh or smile. I have them smile during the practice, and it's incredible what a smile can even do. Even if you don't feel like smiling, if you force yourself to smile, you can't help but to, it like just brings this like lighter tension, and
Even if it
it's
feels
this
silly.
lightness. It's not a tension. Yeah, even if it feels silly, it's like It's so wonderful, and it just does wonders for the mind, body, and the soul. So yeah, keep that
So
inner
I
child
want to
alive.
know,
Yes.
for our listeners that are watching, wherever you're watching, I want you to drop in the comments what you do for fun, or what are the things that you
Yeah.
used to enjoy doing as a kid that you just thought were like the bee's knees and the best day ever.
Yeah.
Because maybe you can, by sharing, you can inspire someone else to pick up a new hobby or go do something they've forgotten about and bring joy into their day. So I would love for you guys to leave those comments and just let us know what brings you happiness and joy and how you play.
That's a fantastic idea. And I would love to remember some of the things myself. So please do that because I'm going to try some new things out.
I love it.
Oh,
So next week, Chelsea, I want to talk because it is all over my feeds. Everywhere I look, everyone is talking about like Ozempic and whatever that other Wegovy or whatever it is, like the weight loss injections, the insulin injections that people are doing to lose weight. And so like next week, I want to talk about it.
we
I
can,
got some opinions.
let's do it. Yeah, that sounds like a great topic for next week. I haven't delved too deep into that. I actually mentioned it to Auburn though, and he was like, "Oh yeah," and so I'm gonna research, do a little bit of research, so I have some input. But we
Yeah,
can definitely talk about that
I love
next
it.
week.
I am like fired up. There's just so much. There's so much.
Yeah,
And
and it
so,
needs to bring light because it's not right. But yeah, sounds good. Well,
yay.
then I guess we will see you next week.
Yay! So this was Two Humans Talkings. Be sure to subscribe wherever it is that you are listening or watching from, and we will chat with you next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao.